Welcome to this video on the new tables function in Google Sheets. So you may have noticed recently that there's some new functionality in there where you can use templated tables to help you manage your projects, to manage your travel, to manage marketing or human resources if you use this for a business. So lots of really great templates to help you started, and this functionality has been added in pretty recently into Google Sheets. If, like me, you sometimes use Google Sheets to share data, if a person you're working with or a team that you're working with doesn't use Microsoft, then this might be a really great little new function for you to use and have a play around with. And they look really nice and visual. They use the functionality that's built into Google Sheets already, but they package it up really nicely for you. But don't worry, they are nice and customizable. So I'm in a Google Sheet spreadsheet. I've just got one open here, and I'm going to go to the Insert tab at the top. And I'm going to select Tables. Now, when I do, on the right-hand side, a list of template tables will open. And it's going to give me a couple of featured options, including event tasks and project tasks and content trackers if you're a content creator. But then if I just close that one down and scroll down, you can see all the other options, including travel, inventory management, recruitment, team planners, if you have a group of people you work with, and lots of options. Now, when I hover over any of these, it's going to give me a preview of what that table looks like in Google Sheets, which is super useful. So I can select any of these that I'm wanting. I'm going to go to featured and I'm going to go to project task. It's got some nice bit of functionality in there. And I'm just going to click anywhere on that title to insert. I don't need to click on the insert button. I can just click anywhere and it will add it in for me. And then I'm just going to remove this tab on the right hand side with the cross. And you may get some pop-ups if it's the first time you're using this to tell you a couple of different bits of functionality you might want to use, but I'm going to go through them in this video anyway, so don't worry if they don't pop. So right there at the top on the left hand side, you have the name, which can be changed. So if you go into the table menu, you'll see you've got the rename option. Now you can't have special characters or spaces. So if you'll either have to have your words together or you'll need to use underscores. So I'm just going to put Project Paris in, and you'll see I've underscored there just so it goes in. And when I click away or I click back on that menu, it's locked that in place, which is really nice. A couple of other things I can do is I can turn off alternating colours if I want, and I can also customise the table colours. So if you want to use a specific colour, or you've got a brand that you need to follow, then you've got the option to pick from a list or use the custom ones to define exactly what colour you want in there. So you've got some really nice options. Another one that's really useful here is reverting to unformatted data. So if you want to pull this into something else, you can use that. And you can also delete the table if you've added it by accident or it's not going to work for you and you want to try something else. You also have at the top, before we go into the actual table, is a view option where you can create groups by specific views. So you can group by your statuses, you can group by your priorities. So you can see all your P1s together, your P2s, things like that. And you can also create filter views as well. If I just group by view and go to priority, I do have some test data in here. So you do get some examples in there when you do go in for the first time. So you can have a bit of a play around with it before you've even entered your data. And you'll see some of the options, the group by options, which is nice. It's picked together all the priorities and it would have listed them. If I had more than one of each of those priorities, they would have been listed. You can see you've got the option to save the view at the top, or you can just click the cross to get rid of it, and it's just going to ask you if you're sure. So I'm just going to click don't save. But definitely save those if you want to then play around with them, so it's easier for you to navigate around the table in the future. So then what you'll have, depending on what option or what template you selected, you'll have a number of different columns with different information in them. Do not worry if they're in the wrong order. You can just click on the column and drag it to another place. Let me move owner over to there and just drop it. And that's really nice and easy. But if you want to totally change it, you'll find in these drop down options you can edit the column type, and that means it will allow you to select a number option, just leave it as free text, select a date option, select a drop down option, a checkbox, some smart chips, and if I select that, so you can just see what that looks like, you've got rating options, file, finance, place, and people, and then none. So you've got some really nice options to customize these templates once you've added it to your spreadsheet. You don't have to stick with it, which is really, really great. You've got the option to sort the column and filter the column, just like you would expect to do. You can group by the column really quickly here, so you don't even have to use the views at the top. And then you've got the insert and the delete options like you would expect as standard. So they do behave generally as a standard column in Google Sheets. If I double click on that column header, it just means I can make any changes to the title if I want to again, customize this as much as possible. So let's put in task details. Press enter and that will drop down. And you can see that's saved. Any of these ones that have a drop down, you'll see some pre-populated options and a pencil to edit them, to either remove them or update them or add new ones in, which are really, really helpful. Again, you can change the colours if you need to, so you can go in, you can see those options on the right hand side, and you can pick a different colour and some different text, add more items, and also chuck them in the bin and delete them. So loads of really cool options there. One thing I will say, and this is something that I need to do quite often, is you will have a specific sort of country or region on your spreadsheets. So if your date format doesn't come through in the way that you would expect it, I'm in the UK, so I'm used to seeing day, then month, then year, then what you just need to do, because you can't change it here, is go to File, scroll down and go to Settings, and then you'll see where it's based. So if you're in the UK like myself, you're going to want to change that to the United Kingdom. Save that and reload, and it's going to switch it to day, month, and year, which is just going to be much more recognizable for me. If you're in the US and you're used to seeing month, day, year, then you don't have to worry about that. But it's just a nice quick top tip for anyone who's used to reading the dates in a different way. And it just depends what settings you have within Google. I just, for whatever reason, I just need to come in and change my individual spreadsheets. But it's a simple, quick, easy thing to do, File and Settings. And then you can just change what zone you're in, what region you're in, and it will update anything like that, which will be really, really helpful. And things like owner, when you've got a name in there, when you click on it, it will give you a drop-down list of everyone who's within your organisation or within your contacts. And you can obviously add new people in there. And then what you can do is share this, and then multiple people can be managing this table at the same time. So you've got loads of options. Like I said, if I just click on one of those drop downs, I've got the option to insert new columns, and then I can just name it whatever I want and add in whatever column type that I want. So remember, edit column type, and let's just pop some text, a text column in there. It's not giving me a proper header, so just double click on it. And let's change this to description. Press enter, and that's just dropped that nicely in there for me to just update. And obviously, if I don't want it in there, drop down arrow again and delete that column. So really, really nice and easy to play around with. Nice and visual as well. And remember, you've got loads of templates over there, but you're not stuck to them. Once you add them in, you can customize them to exactly what branding you want, exactly what details you want on there. And then just remember, as you're in at Google Sheets, you can just go into the top right hand corner and share this wherever you need to. So a nice video there on some new functionality in Google Sheets, which might just help you manage your projects, products, events, travel planning, all sorts of things that you can use this to manage with, and just really have a play around with those and customize it to work best for you. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, and let me know what videos you'd like me to record.